In England and Wales during 2006, fire and rescue services attended over 26,000 fires in non-domestic buildings. These fires killed 37 people and injured more than 1,500. The cost as a consequence of fire, including damaged property, lost business and human casualties, were estimated at £2.5 billion. Good management of fire safety ensures that fires are unlikely to occur, or if they do occur, are controlled or contained, and everyone is able to evacuate the workplace to a place of total safety quickly. An understanding and awareness of fire safety is crucial, as fires have the potential to injure or kill large numbers of people quickly. Our first priority is to do all we can to prevent a fire starting. And you will play an important part in this aim. This DVD covers how a fire starts, fire prevention and the importance of good housekeeping, fire emergency procedure and false alarms, and the reporting of fire hazards and dangers. There will be a short written exercise at the end to check your understanding. For a fire to start, three things are needed: a source of ignition, a fuel, and oxygen. If any of these are missing, the fire cannot start. Taking measures to avoid the three coming together will therefore reduce the likelihood of a fire starting. The most common sources of ignition in offices and the ELC are faulty or misused electrical equipment, friction from conveyor bearings, gas-powered FLTs, fan heaters, employees own electrically powered equipment, tradespeople undertaking maintenance work. The most common sources of fuel are flammable gases such as hydrogen gas from overcharging batteries or a gas leak from an LPG-powered counterbalance fork lift truck, aerosol cans and other flammables such as paints or oils, packaging materials made from paper, plastic, cardboard or wood, product such as vehicle upholstery and trim, waste products such as shredded paper or bubble wrap, plastics and rubber such as computers, polyurethane foam-filled furniture and desk partitions. Oxygen is in the air we breathe, so it's everywhere. So as you can see, there are a number of potential opportunities for a fire to start. Your job is to be aware of these ignition sources and fuels and make sure you do everything possible to keep them apart. Fire prevention, supported by good housekeeping, is the key to effective fire safety management in any business. But in practice, what does this actually mean? And what part do you play in all of this? Well, in the previous section we listed the sources of ignition and fuels found in offices and the ELC. So the first step is to ensure, where possible, sources of fuel are kept well away from sources of ignition. Next, we must control the sources of ignition. So, for electrical equipment, this would mean ensuring that it is checked and maintained regularly, making sure trailing leads and extension reels are not overloaded. Fan heaters should only be used as a temporary solution for room heating and should never be left on at night. Always switch them off and remove the plug last thing before you go home. Always follow the recharging procedure for industrial trucks and report any acid leaks or any other signs that a battery cell may be faulty. Pay particular attention to the gas cylinder, pipework and fittings on the LPG-powered counterbalance forklift trucks. If you suspect anything at all isn't normal, stop and report it to your supervisor. When refuelling the gas cylinder truck, make sure you have switched off your mobile phone before refueling. Make sure you follow the procedure. Inspect the earthing wire and ensure that it is connected to the FLT, and do not smoke or attempt to smoke under any circumstances. With sources of fuel, the key is to ensure we keep the quantity down to a minimum and that they are stored appropriately. So, for example, flammable chemicals or aerosols should be stored in a separate cupboard, well away from sources of heat and ignition. Last thing, before leaving work, ensure any non-essential electrical equipment is switched off and isolated at the wall socket. By carrying out these simple, common sense actions, you will be significantly reducing the likelihood of a fire starting. Or if one did start, slowing down the speed of which it could spread.